mesdames and messieurs. Thank you so much for coming back. Glad you tuned back in. I hope you've been working on some of your homework. So we've talked before about setting your vision. We've talked about your ultimate mission in life. We've talked about setting those weekly goals, developing a journal, and we've also talked about your natural powers. That was the most recent one. So today, as leaders, we're going to be talking about how we can be successful and what does success look like. So we've got the internet. You've got everything at your fingertips. You could read, you can attend podcasts, you could take courses, but why is it that some leaders or folks in life just can't seem to get to that point of success? What it takes is behavior changes. We need to change our behavior. So that's how successful people are able to manage their time and find themselves in a successful area of their life. So I'm very fortunate to be joined today with Steve Willis, our general manager of our department. He's very successful in his career, and I'm going to ask him to share with you today, what are some of your tools, Steve? How do you do it?
So before I begin, bonjour à tous. J'espère que vous passez une bonne journée. Hope those of you are having fun today and learning more through these leadership series. I keep telling Leanne how excited I am she's doing it. I think it's a great new tool. It's the type of innovation we want to see in the department and doing things in new ways. But to go to your question, Leanne, one of the things I think I learned along the way, and I didn't know this immediately, it's something I picked up along the way, is that you have to take control of your own day. You as a person really do actually control your own day, and I really encourage people to feel empowered to do that. So when you look at how a day would pass, if I didn't take care of my own day, it would easily be booked with 15 meetings every single day, 5 days a week, and more than that if people could get their way. But for me, that's not the way I don't feel successful if that's actually how I spend a week. So for me, a great week for me is having time in the morning to sit back and look at the agenda for the day, figure out what I need to have prepared, make sure I have things are ready, including some thoughts I had overnight or on the drive in. I try to make some notes of things I'd like to accomplish during the day or people I have to remember to follow up with. I try to make time in the day to return phone calls to people, sometimes for business reasons, sometimes just to connect. I also try to make time in my day to plan to just walk around and see what's going on in the department in various areas, whether I'm here at Laurier or I'm at Constellation. I actually make time, and I think people are getting a little less nervous when they see me walking around the floor here. I think they're getting used to it. So there are going to be more of that, because for me, that's about how I just have a general pulse in a really informal way about how things are going on. And I think many of you know that I actually enjoy if you just stop and say hello and tell me what's going on and the like, and I'll ask. It's, we have all the formal meetings for the formal discussions, but I actually like having the informal times. And the other thing I do is I don't let email control my life. Mm-hmm. And that's actually one of the hardest things to do. So every single day I actually clear my inbox out every single day.
Wow.
And I've talked to a few people on the floor about how to do this. I actually have simplified things enormously. It's all about making it simple. So anytime an email comes in, I quickly scan it, and it goes into one of two boxes. One box, mailbox, is this year, it's 2018, complete. It means I've read it, I don't need to do anything more with it. Great, I read it. Sometimes we get a lot of information of the day, probably 3/4 of all emails we get all day you actually don't need to do anything with, so you read it and you dump it into it. I don't put it in 1,000 different complicated folders. I used to do that. But now, the Microsoft Office tools, it's incredibly searchable. I can find that email. If you sent it to me, I could search it by Leanne, I could search it by topic, I could search it by day. It's so much easier. There's no need to have the most complicated file folder system in the world. So the other category is called follow-up, which means I actually have to do something with that email. And so I put it in the follow-up box, and then several times a day I just check in and I code them, whether it's a follow-up today or a follow-up tomorrow, follow-up 3 months from now. And so at any given time, it's typical I have 70 to 80 things in my follow-up box. But not all 70 and 80 need to be done today. Sometimes it's about 10 to 15. So this way, it's a very aggressive strategy of ensuring that I actually get through them, but it also relieves the stress, because I don't walk in and turn on my computer and find 1,000 emails in my inbox.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's something for us to all think about and take some action. I really like that, Steve, and I think these are some excellent things that you can all be taking away. Try it on, see how it feels. let us know. Let Steve know how it works for you. Thank you very much, Steve. I really appreciate you joining us.
And thanks for having the chance, and I look forward to seeing more of you as I wander the halls.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you all.